It's my birthday week, so I'm coming to you with a special episode all about celebrations and, well, you know what we talk about around here, right? Relationship with food, of course. Celebrations and food go together like peanut butter and jelly, or honey if you're my 4-year-old. Wouldn't you agree? Every time you celebrate something big, it usually comes with cake and ice cream, or dinner at a restaurant, or drinks with friends, and all of that other fun stuff that you like to celebrate in life. Hey, I am Elizabeth, and I'm here to help you become a woman of wellness by healing your relationship with food and loving your body right now. And today we are going to talk about how to celebrate without guilt. Doesn't that sound lovely? But first, I want to talk about the difference between engaging in actual celebration for something such as maybe a birthday or a job promotion or graduation or some other big life event versus a celebration of deserving. Now, do you know what I mean by deserving? Does that make sense? I want to tell you a little history about my story with food, and that will help you kind of recognize the difference. I love treats, and really, is there anyone here that doesn't? I hope you're in good company. If it's a baked good, I am all over it. It could be Skittles, Starburst candy, get out of my face, no way. But if you give me a warm chocolate chip cookie or a brownie with ice cream, well, now I'm just hungry. For a long time, my relationship with food looked a lot like a celebration of deserving. If I passed a test at school, I deserved a treat. If I made it through a long, stressful day at school or work or home, I absolutely deserved a treat later, after dinner, or before dinner. If I ate healthy that day, I deserved a treat. Does this sound familiar at all to you? I hope I'm in good company. I used anything and everything to essentially earn my treats throughout the day. Having an indulgence was the way that I coped with all of the emotions of my day. And you better believe that I found a way to celebrate deserving every single night. There was always something to celebrate, or something telling me that I totally earned that treat today. Now, in the world of intuitive eating, which is what we talk about all about here, there's absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying a treat and eating it and enjoying it, such as a celebration or an event in your life, or even just because you want to eat a treat. But what happened for me was that I used food to make it through everyday life. And then I would feel guilty at the end of the night because I feel like I had no self-control. I couldn't say no, I had to eat it. And this is the perfect example of enjoying food as a celebration versus using food to actually get through life. So if you're struggling with using food to get through life, I want to highly recommend taking my free emotional eating course. It is linked in the description below. People love it, I hope you will love it, and it will really help with that deserving side of the celebration. But for this video, I want to talk about actual celebrations that pop up often in life, right? In fact, usually I hear typically about 4 different worries that come up over and over when it comes to being a part of a celebration that has food involved. So the first one that I often hear people say is, if I start, I won't stop celebrating for days. Like the cake will be in my house and I'll go haywire with it. Or they say, you know what, celebrations seriously come all the time. Like graduations, you have them all over. Birthdays are together. Like how do I balance my relationship with food when I'm constantly having to fight off that urge to resist, right? Other people struggle with what if I find any reason to celebrate, even a small one? That's something that I talked about earlier. And lastly, every time I go to an event or a celebration, I feel like the food is always bad, right? So we're talking about intuitive eating, remember. So first things, there are 2 things I want to address when we talk about food and events. When it comes to intuitive eating, there are no bad foods. Bad is a label that we place on food. And remember, we talk about how food is neutral. No one food has the power to change who you are or make you a bad person for eating. Second, Don't resist the urge to indulge. That's diet talk, right? You're essentially telling yourself that certain foods are off limits for you. And yes, I do believe in a healthy balance with all kinds of foods. But in order to get there, you need to give yourself permission to eat what you want and when you want. You'll find that the more permission you give yourself, the more likely you are to have a happy balance and happy with what you're eating. It really is funny how that works, but it works. I promise. We've done it many, many times with many, many clients. So now let's throw out all of those worries, get them in the trash, whatever it is, when it comes to those events and food. And I want to give you 3 steps to follow to help you enjoy the celebration without worrying about the food that is there. So step 1 is to allow yourself to be present for the actual celebration. We always go to food, but really, what are you celebrating? Are you celebrating a family member, a friend, maybe a coworker? What about yourself? Are you celebrating yourself? Make the event about the person you're celebrating. Focus on them. Focus how you can celebrate with them. When food worries pop up into your mind, just recognize it and then send it away. Remember, you are here to enjoy the moment. Enjoy celebrating a special someone in your life, and if it's you, let everyone else celebrate you. Don't you think we are so bad at doing this as women? I don't know why, but we are. Step number 2 is to listen to your body throughout the whole thing, the whole celebration. If it's a celebration with food, you're going to need to eat, and that's okay. Actually, you're probably going to want to eat. That is fine. That is totally okay. Don't go to an event telling yourself that you're not going to eat anything. Go enjoy. Just take what we've learned in other videos around here. I will link in the description below a couple videos I think might help about listening to hunger and fullness cues and apply it to that moment. The best way that I personally pay attention to my body when I'm not sitting down at a table and eating like a mindful meal, or, when I'm talking to other people, I just ask myself one question before I start, while I eat, and then when I'm done. And the question is, where am I at right now? That's it. It's so simple. Just ask your body where you're at. Are you hungry for a meal maybe? What kind of food sounds good to you? Warm, cold? Do you want a hearty meal? Do you want light? Do you want sweet, salty? As you enjoy your food and the company, just quickly check in on how you're feeling throughout that eating process. Just quickly ask yourself, where am I at right now? And I know it may sound a little bit silly, but I can guarantee the more you practice this, the easier it becomes, and you start to get really, really in tune with your body, which is essentially what we want around here, right? And if you don't, I hope you do now. And also, don't forget to enjoy food that is satisfying to you. So you could eat all the salad in the world that might fill you up physically, right? But emotionally and how you feel, you still feel like maybe you need more. So make sure that there's a component of satisfaction that comes with each of your food interactions. And I'm not saying that means cookies all the time, although at first it might feel that way, right? I mean, you're learning a new skill. I'll explain a little bit about me. I'm not much of a salad eater for meals, but honestly, the other day I felt like one, and it actually filled me up in the way I needed, which isn't typical for me. I totally felt satisfied when it was done. I didn't need it, and although that doesn't always happen, sometimes it does, and that's okay. Our last tip is to create rewards that aren't food. So if you're suffering from the deserving kind of celebration, try finding things that might reward you in a different way. If you're a woman or a mother or anything, anybody, you deserve to be celebrated. You deserve to have some rewards in life for getting through a tough day with kids, a stressful day at work, a full day of joy and laughter, a day of pampering yourself, whatever it is. It's okay to have some enjoyment and some rewards in your life. So whether it was a hard day or an exceptionally good day, it's totally okay for you to have an opportunity to celebrate that day. When the weather is nice, my husband and I reward ourselves with just a walk with just the 2 of us after our kids go to bed. It really energizes me and gives me that boost to kind of get through the rest of the night, and helps me kind of work through some of my mental things and all of that. So, and other nights when I'm really tired and it's just been a really long day, I just enjoy a show on the couch with a cuddle. It satisfies me enough to know that I could just get right up and do it all again tomorrow. So What ways can you find to celebrate those small and big events in your life without A, worrying about the food, and B, celebrating the accomplishment of another beautiful and probably a bit of a messy day? Hopefully that's helpful. That's all for me today. I will see you next time.